Hey guys, my name is Vinay. Welcome to Project Vinay. Documenting this journey till I reach my goals. My goal is to build my own personal brand, to build my own empire, to build my own business, to develop my skills, to improve my skills. Currently, we are focusing on my communication skills. So we are reading this book called The Almanac of Nava Ravikant, and today is part 8 of reading book. And today date is 9th February 2026. Yeah. So yesterday we read till the page number 100, and we are going to start from page number 101 today. So yeah, let's start. Slide your once. Let's start. Slide your ideas to identity to see reality. Our ego or uh, constructed in our formative years. First decade they got constructed by our environment, our parents, society. Then we spend the rest of our life trying to make our ego happy. We interpret anything new throughout ego. How do I change the external world to make it more how I would look like it to be? Tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. Buddha says. Oh, you absolutely need habit to function. You you cannot solve every problem in your life as it is the first time it thrown at you. We accumulate all those habits. We put them in the bundle of identity, ego, ourself, and then we we get attached to them. I am Nawal. This is the way I am. It's really important to be able to uncondition yourself, to be able to take your habits apart and say, okay, this is a habit I probably pick up when I was a toddler trying to get my parents' attention. Now I reinforced it and reinforced it, and I call it my part of identity. Does it still serve me? Does it make me happier? Does it make me healthier? Does it make me accomplish whatever I set up to accomplish? I am less habitual than most people. I don't like to situate my structure my day. To the extent I have habits, I try to make them more delightable rather than accidents of history. Any brief you took in uh, remove the function call. Okay, sorry. Any belief you took in a package. Example: Democrat catalyst, catalytic America is suspected and should be valued from basic principle. I try not to have too much. I I I will pre-dedicate. I think creating identity and labels locks you in and keep you from seeing the truth. To be honest, speak without identity. I used to identify as libertarian, but then I would find myself defining positions I have not had not really thought through because they are a part of the libertarian canon. I have to search this one. Sorry, Libertari.
Libertarian. Libertarian.
Right. Person who advocates civil liberties. If all your beliefs line up into a little Buddha bundles, you should be highly su- suspicious. I don't like to self-identify on any any most almost any level anymore, which keeps me from having too much of those so-called stable beliefs. We each have yeah, we each have a contrarian belief society reject. But the more our own identity and local tribe reject it, the more real it likely is. They are two attractive lessons about suffering in the long term. It can make you accept the world the way it is. The other lesson is it can make your ego change in an uh, extremely harder way. Maybe you are a competitive athlete and you get injured badly, like Bruce Lee. You have to accept being an athlete is not your entire identity, and maybe you can forgive and new identity as a philosopher. Facebook redesigns, Twitter redesigns, personalities, career, and the team also need redesigns. They are not permanent solution in a dynamic system. Tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who we are. Learning the skill or the decision making, or learn the skill of decision making. The classical virtues are all decision makers making hierarchies, heuristics to make one optimize for the long term rather than for the short term. Self-serving self-serving conclusions should have a higher bar. I do I do view a lot of my goals over the next few years of unconditioning, uh, previewing, learned responses or habituate responses, so I can make decisions more cleanly in the moment when without relying on memory or prepacked heuristics and judgments. Almost all biases or time saving heuristics for important decision, discard memory and identity and focus on the problem. Eradicate histo- honesty just means I want to be free. Part of being free means I can say what I think and think what I say. They are high consequent and integrated theoretical physicist. I have to search this. I would say I know this, but I can't pronounce it. Pythysicic. Pythysicic.
Physicist.
Physicist Richard Feynman famously said you should never ever fool anybody, and you are the easiest person to fool. The most you tell somebody something dishonest, you are lied to yourself. The moment you tell somebody someday something dishonest, you were lied to yourself, then you are start believing your own lies, which will disconnect you from the reality and take you down the wrong road. I never ask if I like it or I don't like it. I think this is what is or this is what it is. As I like it or I don't like it, I think this is what it is and or this is what it is not. It's really important for me to be honest. I don't go out of my volunteering negative or tasty things. I would combine radical honesty with an old rule Warren Buffett has, which is praising specifically citizens generally. Sorry, generally, generally. I try to follow this. I don't always follow it, but I think I follow it enough to have made some difference in life. Okay, which has which is praising specifically. Praising specifically, criticize generally. If you have a criticism or something, then don't criticize the person. Criticize the general approach or criticize the class of activity. If you have to praise somebody, then always try and find a person who is the best example of what you are praising, and praise the person specifically. Then people's ego and identities will which we all have don't work against you, they work for you. Any advance on development capital capacity for instance, in S T I N C T U. I don't know why, but today is little bit harder vocabulary.
Instinctual.
Instinctual. Any advice on developing a capitalist capacity for instinctual, blunt honesty? Tell everybody start now. It does not have to be blunt. Charisma is the ability to project confidence and love at some same time. It's almost always possible to be honest and positive. As an investor and the CEO of Angel List, you are paid to be the right when others are wrong. Don't you have a process around how you make decision? Yes, decision making is everything. In fact, someone who makes decision right 80% of the time instead of 70% of the time will be valued and compensated in the market thousands of time more. I think people have a hard time understanding a fundamental fact of leverage. If I manage one uh, $1 billion and I am right 10% more often than somebody else, my decision making creates 100 million worth of value on a judgment call. Will moderate technology and large workforce and capital or decisions are leveraged more and more. If you can be more right and more uh, retain, retains rational and more right and more rational, you are going to get non-linear returns in your life. I love the blog Farnham Street because it's real focus on helping you being more accurate and overall being decision maker. Decision making is everything. The more you know, the less you diversity. Uh, collect mental models. During decision making, the brain is a memory prediction machine. Allows a loosely way to do memory prediction is X happening in the past. Therefore, X will happen in the future. It's too based on the specific circumstances. What you want is a principle, you want mental model. The best the best mental the best mental model I have found came through evolution, game theory, and Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is a Warren Buffett's partner, very good investor. He has tons and tons of great mental model. Uh, Author and trader Nassim Talb Talib has great mental model. Benjamin Franklin has great mental model. I basically loud my head for full of mental models. Load my head be full of mental models. I use my tweets and other people's tweets as maxims that help compares my compress my compress my own learning and recall them. The brain space is finite. You have finite neurons, so you can almost think of these as a pointers addresses or me eminems. I have to search this. MNEMO.
Mnemonics.
The study the study and development of a system for improving and assaulting the memory. Mnemonics to help remembering deep sitting principle where you have the underlying experience to back it up. If you don't have the underlying experience, then it just read like a collection of queries. It's cool. Impress. It's cool. It's inspirational for a movement. Maybe you will make a nice poster out of it, but then you forgot it and move on. Mental model are really just a compact way for you to recall your knowledge. Evolution. I think a lot of modern society can be example it can be explained through evolution. One theory is civilization exists to answer the question of who gets to meet. If you look if you look if you look around from a particular sexual selection uh, perspective, abandoned sperms is abundant and eggs are scarce, scarcity. It's almost allocation problem. Literally, all of the works of mankind and womankind can be tranced down to people trying to solve this problem. Evolution, evolution, thermodynamics, information theory, and complex has ex- explanatory and predictive power in many aspects of life. Invest inversion. I don't believe I have the ability to say what is doing to work. Rather, I try to eliminate what not going to work. I think being successful is just about not making mistakes. It's not about having correct judgments. It's about avoiding the incorrect judgments. Complete complexity theory. I was really into complexity theory back in the mid 90s. The more I go into it, the more I understand the limits of our knowledge and the limit of our prediction capability. Complex has been super helpful to me. It helped. It has helped me come to a system that appro- system that operates in the face of ignorance. I believe we are fundamentally ignorant and very bad at predicting the future. Economics, microeconomics, and game theory are fundamental. I don't think you can be uh, successful in business or uh, even navigate more out of a modern capitalist society without extraordinary good understanding of supply and demand, labor versus capital game theory, and those kind of things. Ignores the noise. The market will decide. Principal agent problem. To me, the principal. Sorry, I have to drink water. I'm gonna reach it 10 by 10. I would say I don't want to push myself more harder. So let me just recover first. So yeah. We are at page number 1.9, so let's read more one page. So let's complete it 110, I would say. Let's see. Principal agent fact problems. To me, the principal agent problem is the single most fundamental problem in microeconomics. If you don't not understand the principal agent problem, you will not know how to navigate your way. You will not know how to navigate your way through the world. It is important if you want build a successful company or being successful in your uh, dealings. It's a very simple concept. Julius Caris, Carisara famously said, "If you want it done, then go, and if not, then say." Send. What he meant was, if you want it done, then go, and if not, then send. Was, if you want it done right, then you have to go yourself and do it. When you are the principal and then you are the owner, you cares and you will do the great job. When you are when you are the agent and you are to going it on somebody else's behalf, you can do a bad job. You just don't care. You are optimized for yourself rather than for the principal asset. The smaller the company, the more everyone feels like a principal. The less you feel like an agent. The best the job you are going to do, the more closely you can tie someone's capers compensation to the exact value they are creating. More you turn them into a principal and the less you turn them into an agent. I think at a core fundamental level, we understand this. We are attacking to the principle, and we all bond with the principle. But the media and the modern society spend a lot of time brainwashing you about needing an agent being important, and the agent being knowledgeable. Compound interest, most of you should know it in the financial context. If you don't crack open a microeconomics textbook, it's worth reading a microeconomic textbook from starting to finish. An example of compound interest, let's say you are earning a 10% of a year on year $1. The first year you make 10% and end up with 1.10. The next year ends up with to 1.21, and the third year you ends with 1.33. If you keep adding on itself, then your compound interest at 30% make yearly from 50 years. You don't just end up with 10 20 times your money, you end up with thousands of times you money. The intellectual domain, your compound interest rule. When you look at a business with 1,000 user growing at a compound interest of 20% monthly, it can very quickly stack up to having a million of users, something even the founder of the companies was surprised by the large the business scale. Basic max basic basic math. I think basic mathematics is really underrated. If you are going to make money, if you are going to invest money, you basic maths should be really good. You don't need to learn geometry, trigonometry, calculus, or anything of complex stuff. It's you are just going to into business, but you want arithmetic properly, statistics. Those are extremely important. Crack open a basic maths book and make sure you are really good at multiplying, dividing, compounding, probability, and statistics. Black swans. These a new branch of probabilistic statistics, which is really around tail. Even black stains are extremely probabilistic. Against I had to refer back to Nassim Talbi, Nassim Talib, who I thought is one of the greatest philosopher, scientists of our time. He's really done a lot of phenomenal work on this. Calculus is useful to know to understand the rate of change and how nature works. I think it's probably one of the baddest video I have ever made. Calculus is useful to know to understand the rate of change and how knowledge, how nature works. But it's more important to understand the principle of calculus, where mainly you are measuring the change in small discrete of small continuous event. It's not important, and you solve integral or do uh, di- do do derivations or demand, because you are not going to need it into a business world. I would say end it by this page itself. I'm not feeling good. I would. That's why I'm not able to read. Like I'm not able to push. Else I would have. I thought of reading till 120. It's okay. So what we read today? Once again, I have to check. Actually, I was not able to focus today much more. Whatever I have discovered is like, I have to read this book again in offline, in not just video. First, he thought about the identity to see reality. Like we should not be in a delusional way. Mind we should like see the reality and accept the reality and start working on it. And we should start like following. Like we should be consistent enough to do something. Not like that. He said something else. I would say. I forgot. He said about decision making where we have to. It's not about making the right decision always. It's about choosing which is the wrong decision you are making. Like making sure we are not taking a wrong decision in our life. That's more important than taking a right decision. He said this as a point. Then he told about and also like he said something which I like. We talk about compound interest, evolution, and like economics important. What are basic fundamentals of business which might help you to get ahead than everybody? Like basic max, compound interest, uh, some calculus, black swings. I don't know what it is. I have to search. Economics, complex theory. Yeah, that's it, man. Nothing much today. Sorry, I guess disappointed you today. Bit like yeah. I think nobody is gonna watch this video. They're only going to hear my cough. So yeah, I will be coming back every single day. I'm not gonna stop. We are gonna complete this book in a just single streak. So yeah, it's nothing else. Sorry again. Thank you so much for thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.